Hi everyone, I will talk to you about the food production cycles and consumer diet impact on Earth. You might have heard about climate change. Even if you are not an environmentalist, you may have an idea that the energy humans use on a daily basis impact negatively on Earth. Producing and consuming energy produce greenhouse gas emissions or GHG emissions. GHG are a set of gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide that produce ozone deterioration, global warming, and translate into diseases and loss of the planet's biodiversity. What percentage of GHG emissions do you think energy is accountable for? Energy accounts for 3/4 of GHG emissions. What accounts for the remaining quarter? The food production cycle. So let's take a closer look to the global food system. Based on a research published in 2018 by Joseph Poor and Thomas Nemesek, that is the largest study to date about food's environmental impacts, we differentiate 3 stages in the food production cycle. The supply chain, that includes the last part of the cycle and involves transportation, processing, packaging, and retailing of the food. Land use accounts for 24% of GHG emissions and involves above-ground changes caused by deforestation to set up farms, as well as below-ground changes due to the change in soils from land usage. What accounts for the most part of emissions are farm activities. These activities represent 58% of emissions and comprise methane emissions from cows, methane from rice, emissions from fertilizers, pasture manure, and farm machinery. Farms from all around the world produce a great variety of food products, but does the production of these products impact the environment the same way? Here we have a list of food categories ordered in descending order by average GHG emissions by kilogram of each category. Meat and poultry contribute by far to these emissions compared to other food categories, but meat is a great source of the protein we need. Before crossing our arms and decide there's nothing we can do to avoid consuming meat, let's see if all meat have the same impact. We can see that beef produces almost 60 kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalent per kilogram of beef produced. That is almost 2.5 times what lamb and mutton produce and around 10 times what pig, meat, and poultry produce. This is because cattle's digestion produce methane, while non-ruminant animals like pigs and chickens don't produce that gas. This graph shows we have options apart from beef. And this graph includes meat alternatives as tofu and soy milk. Poor and Nemesek recommend consumers to change their meat consumption and propose 2 scenarios. The first one is to move from current diets to a diet that excludes animal products. This would reduce food land use by 76% and food GHG emissions by 49%. Considering how difficult it could be for a large number of people to change their consumption habits, they also proposed a smaller change consisting on reducing consumption of animal product in half and replacing production with above median GHG emissions with vegetable equivalents. This change would achieve 71% of the previous scenario's GHG reduction. We are fortunate to have options. We have the option to avoid or reduce beef consumption and favor other types of food that are less harmful to our planet. We all know habits are difficult to change, but if the whole world proved it can change its habits to contain an unexpected disease, each of us are able to make changes on our dietary habits to overcome the warning threat of climate change. Thank you.